Okay, so we have discussed about the stress versus strain curve for a loaded wire till it breaks. Okay, then based on this stress versus strain curve or based on elasticity, we can divide the materials in three types, which are ductile, brittle, and elastomers. So the materials can be divided or the substances can be divided in three types based on the property of elasticity. Okay. Then after that, few terms we have studied like elastic after effect, elastic fatigue, etc. Okay. Now write the last topic: applications of elasticity. Write down applications of elasticity. Okay. Here we'll discuss 2 or 3 applications. So write down applications of elasticity. Write the first one. Write down any metallic part of a machine is never subjected to a stress beyond the elastic limit. Okay, so in the machinery parts, wherever something has to be stretched or the deforming force has to be applied, there it is applied within the elastic limit, okay, not beyond the elastic limit. Okay, so the modulus of elasticity is calculated for that material, and the stress is applied. Stress means the deforming force is applied only till the elastic limit, not beyond the elastic limit. Otherwise, it will lose its property of elasticity and that part will be damaged. Okay, and the machine will be of no use. Right, the second. Okay, the same way in the crane, heavy loads are lifted with the help of the crane. Okay, so there is a long rope. So in that rope also, it is never subjected beyond the elastic limit. Okay, so the deforming force or the stress is applied only till the elastic limit, not beyond it. Otherwise, it will lose the property of elasticity. So write the second application, second use. Write down the thickness of the metallic rope. The thickness of the metallic rope used in cranes to lift heavy loads is decided from the knowledge of elasticity. Okay, and is never subjected beyond elastic limit, and is never subjected beyond elastic limit. Okay, also in construction of bridges, again the knowledge of elasticity is applied over here, applied over there, so that the repeated heavy traffic is moving on it, it should not break or it should not bend much. So again there the knowledge of elasticity is, okay, it's made up of I shape. We are not going in details of that, only one line. So write the next application. Write down the knowledge of elasticity is applied in designing a bridge such that it does not bend much It does not bend much or break under the load of traffic. Under the load of traffic. Okay, so one more application here we can write down. The height of the mountain can also be determined by the elastic property of that mountain. Okay, so the height of the mountain and the age of the mountain can also be determined by that. So write the next one. The height of a mountain, the height of a mountain depends on modulus of elasticity of the rock, depends on modulus of elasticity of the rock, and so can be determined, and so can be determined. Okay, so we have completed this chapter. Okay, the elastic potential energy per unit volume. This topic has been deleted. Okay, for this session only. So we are not going to study that potential energy per unit volume. What is the expression of elastic potential energy per unit volume? Okay, so we are not going to do that. Now comes the NCERT exercise questions. Page 242, 243. 244, 242, 244. Okay, let's discuss few questions. Question number 1. A steel wire of length 4.7 meter and cross-sectional area 3 into 10 raised to the power minus 5 meters square stretches by the same amount as the copper wire of length 3.5 meter and the cross-sectional area is given under a given load. That is, the load is the same. Find the ratio of the Young's modulus of steel to that of copper. Okay, so the Young's modulus of steel, it will be given by, we know that the Young's modulus is given by force per unit stress upon strain, that is force per unit area upon delta L by, that is force upon area into L upon delta L. Okay, delta L is the extension, L is the original length, F is the force, A is the cross-sectional area. Okay, now let's see what is different and what is same. Length is different. Okay, cross-sectional area is different, but stretches by the same amount. Stretches by the same amount, it means delta N is the same. And under a given load means the force is also the same. Okay, the load is the same, extension is the same. We have to determine the Young's modulus of steel to copper. So Young's modulus of steel to the Young's modulus of copper will be given by, okay, Young's modulus here as F and delta N are same. So Young's modulus is directly proportional to capital L upon A. Okay, only in this case here we are discussing, because in the question it is given that this process. So Y is length of the steel wire upon length of the copper wire into area of copper, area of steel. All values are given. You can substitute the values. Length of the steel wire is given, copper is given, area cross-sectional area of both the wires are given. You can substitute the value and then find out the ratio of steel to copper, Young's modulus of steel to Young's modulus of copper. Okay. Then question number 2. Figure 9.11 shows the stress strain curve for a given material. What are the Young's modulus and approximate yield strength for the material? Okay, now here you can see that the graph is between stress and strain. Stress is given along y-axis, strain is given along x-axis. Okay, it's a straight line. Okay, only at the top it is bending. Okay, otherwise it's a straight line. So consider any triangle and find out tan theta. Tan theta means perpendicular upon base. This perpendicular upon base is the slope of the line, and this slope of the line is giving the Young's modulus. Okay, so you can consider any triangle. Okay, as you can see here, at 150 into 10 raised to the power 6 Newton per meter square. 150 into 10 raised to the power 6 Newton per meter square is the stress. At that stress, the strain is 0.002. Okay, stress is because that triangle you can note down the values. So stress upon strain, that is stress is how much? 150 into 10 raised to power 6 divided by 0.002. You will get the Young's modulus. Why? Because the slope of the line gives the Young's modulus. If the graph is a straight line having some slope, tan theta is the slope, and here tan theta will give the slope, which is the Young's modulus. Okay. Also you have to find out the yield strength. Yield strength, okay, the topmost point, that is the yield strength. Okay, beyond which the wire begins to flow. Okay, there. Okay, approximately it is touching only 300 into 10 raised to the power 6 Newton per meter square. It is touching 300, so you can consider it to be 300 into 10 raised to the power 6 Newton per meter square is the yield strength. Okay, then question number 3. The stress strain graphs for the materials A and B are as shown. Now from the graph we have to find out which of the materials has greater Young's modulus of elasticity. Okay, so the two graphs are plotted differently, that is two different graphs are plotted, and from here you have to find out that which is having a greater modulus of elasticity. Okay, which one will have a greater modulus of elasticity? The one which is having more slope. As you can see in the figure, the slope of material A is greater than the slope of the material B. Okay, those both are looking the same, but still the slope of A is greater than the slope of B. So the material A has greater Young's modulus of elasticity. So the first curve is having greater Young's modulus of elasticity. The one which is having a greater slope is greater value of theta. Okay, so it will have the more Young's modulus of elasticity. Which of the two is stronger material? Okay, the one which is having a long plastic range will be more stronger. So here you can see that the one which is having more plastic range, that is A1, that is more stronger. Okay, so or you can say that the one which is having a greater slope is more stronger. Okay, let's make two more questions from here. Which one is more ductile? More ductile, the one which is having a long plastic range. Which one is having a long plastic range? A is having, so it is more ductile. Which one is more brittle? Obviously B is more brittle because the breaking point is very close to the elastic point. Okay, so B is brittle, A is ductile, A is stronger, and A is having more Young's modulus of elasticity. Okay, then next question. Question number 4. Read the following statements below carefully and state with reasons. Is it true or false? The Young's modulus of rubber is greater than that of steel. This question we had already done. We have seen that steel is more elastic than rubber. Okay, that is having a greater Young's modulus of elasticity. So steel is more elastic, not the rubber. So this statement is false. Okay, then the B part is the stretching of a coil is determined by its shear modulus. Shear modulus is modulus of rigidity, that is the shear stress upon shear strain. Okay, so here, yes, the stretching of the coil, it is determined by the shear modulus. It is true. Then question number 5. 2 wires diameter is given, one made up of steel and the other made up of brass or loaded as shown in the figure. The unloaded length of the steel wire, that is the original length of steel wire is 1.5 and that of the brass wire is 1 meter. Compute the elongations of the steel to the brass wire. Okay, so here you have to find out the increase in length. Okay, now see the figure. The top one is the steel wire. Okay, and how will you find out the Young's modulus? Using the, how will you find out the extension? Using the same formula, y is equal to f upon a into delta L upon n. Okay, so force per unit area into L upon delta L. So as we have to find out the extension, that is delta L. So delta L is equal to f upon a into L upon y. Okay, the top one is the steel wire and the second wire is the brass wire made up of brass. Okay, all the values are given. Cross sectional area. Uh, Here the unloaded length is given, cross-sectional area is not given. Okay, but diameter is given. Both the wires have the same diameter, 0.25 meter. So cross-sectional area is pi r square, and r is what? The radius, half of the diameter. So 0.25 upon 2. That will be the radius, and you have to convert it into meters. That is 0.25 into 10 raised to the power minus 2 meter. This is the radius, and the cross-sectional area will be pi r square. Okay, better you don't find out the cross-sectional area because both are having the same cross-sectional area. Both the wires are having the same diameter, so both are having the same cross-sectional area. And when we find out the ratio of delta L of steel to delta L of brass, the cross-sectional area will cancel out as it is the same. Okay, now comes force. Force here is Mg. Only one thing here, we have to keep it in mind. Y will be different. Length given here is different. L is different. Y is different. Okay. Cross-sectional area is same. Okay, now comes force, Mg. Now see in the figure, the first wire, how much weight it has to bear? Below the steel wire there is a 4 kg weight, and also it's bearing a weight of 6 kg. So what is M for steel wire? It will be 10 kg. Whereas for brass wire, it is only bearing a load of 6 kg weight. So for the brass, the mass will be 6 kg. For steel wire, the top one, it is having a weight of not only of 4 kg. The 6 kg is also hanging below. So what is M for steel wire? 10 kg. And for the brass wire, it will be only 6 kg. Okay, that is the only difference. Okay, then you can substitute the values and can find out the ratio of the extension. Can you do it? Delta L of steel to delta L of brass. This is the quantity which you have to find out. This ratio you have to find out. Okay, N will be different. Here for the steel wire, M1, that is 10 into G. No need to substitute the value of G, it will cancel out. Length of the steel wire is given over here as, length of the steel wire is 1.5 meter upon cross-sectional area A, and Y for the steel wire. You will find out from the table. There is one table. Okay, the Young's modulus of elasticity for all the materials are given. So you will write the value from there. Y for steel. Okay, now for the brass, the same formula Mg. M here will be equal to 6 kg. So 6 into G, and the length of the brass wire is 1 meter upon area into Y for brass. Okay, this you will see from the table. G and G cancels out, area cancels out. Y, the value of Y you will see it from there. Substitute it and you can get the ratio of the extension. Okay, is it clear? So put the values and you will find. Only the thing here is this Mg weight for the steel wire will be 10 kg. 10 kg weight. Why? Because it is bearing a weight not only of 6 kg, not only of 4 kg, there is a 6 kg weight below it also. So the total weight is 10 kg. Okay, the weight will be 10 kg weight, whereas for the brass bar it is only 6 kg weight. Okay, so 1 to 5, all 5 questions we have done. Okay, read the question number 6. Okay, because the shear modulus, not in detail we have to study, this part has been deleted from the CBSE, though we have studied in the theory part, but numericals we are not going to do it. Leave the 7th also. Okay, then question number 8 could be done. Okay, everywhere you have to use the same formula, y modulus of velocity, stress upon strain, if it is Young's modulus, force upon area divided by extension upon capital F. So the same formula will be used over here. So do question number 8. Okay, then also you can do question number 9. Here we have to find out the maximum load. Only use the formula, stress is equal to load upon area, and you can get the load. Okay, 8 and 9 you will do it. Then question number 10 needed. Okay, so here I am writing the questions which you have to do it. 1 to 5 we have already discussed. So question number 1 to 5. Okay, then 8, 9. Well, 14 and 15. So we will try these questions. Okay, so we have completed this chapter, and these questions you will try it. 1 to 5 we have already discussed, and the other questions also you can try it. Very easy, just you have to substitute in this formula. If you have to find out y is stress upon strain, longitudinal stress is force upon area, and extension upon the original length. Okay, this is the formula. In some we have to find out delta L or y or force, anything. So you can find out by using this formula. Okay. Now the next chapter is mechanical properties of fluids. Okay, so the chapter number 10, fluids. Two definitions here today we will study. Chapter 10. Okay, so these are the questions of chapter 9. Okay, the next chapter is fluids. Mechanical properties of fluids. So here we have to study two properties of liquids. Okay, the first property, when the liquid is at rest. When the liquid is at rest, we will study the property surface tension. Okay, the surface of the free surface of the liquid tries to attain a minimum surface area, so it is tensed. This property we call it as the surface tension. So when the liquid is at rest, the property which we have to study is surface tension. And when the liquid is in motion, then the property which we have to study is viscosity. Okay, so viscosity and surface tension. Surface tension when the liquid is at rest, and viscosity when the liquid is in motion. Okay, now few general properties here we will study. Before that, few definitions. Pressure. Okay, how is pressure defined? Force per unit area. Force per unit area is called as the pressure. Okay, and pressure for a given force, pressure is depending upon area. More the area, less will be the pressure. That is why knives, scissors, they have sharp edges. Okay, even the drawing pens they are very much pointed so that the area is less and the pressure should be more. So pressure is defined as force per unit area and its SI unit is Newton per meters per. Dimensional formula is mLp raised to the power minus 2 is for force upon area meters per L square L raised to the power 1 minus 2, it becomes L raised to the power minus 2. Okay, then density. Okay, these are the terms which you have already studied in the lower classes also, and very frequently we will be using these terms. So, let's define these terms. Density is defined as mass per unit volume, and generally density is denoted by a symbol rho. Okay, so this is the density, which is mass per unit volume. Mass upon volume, we call it as density, and its unit is kg per meter cube, and the dimension is m L raised to the power minus 3 T raised to the power 0. Okay, then relative density, which is defined as relative density is defined as density of a substance to density of water. It is the ratio of density of a substance to density of water. Density of a substance divided by density of water, we call it as relative density. Okay, and density of water is 1 gram per centimeter cube, which is equal to 1000 kg per meter cube. Okay, density of water is also taken at a particular temperature at 4 degrees Celsius, because with the temperature the density of the water changes. This we are going to study in the next chapter. So density of water changes with the temperature. So density of water is maximum at 4 degrees Celsius, and at 4 degrees Celsius, at 4 degrees Celsius, this density of water is taken at 4 degrees Celsius, and density of water at this temperature is 1 gram per centimeter cube, which you convert it in kg per meter cube. Kg per meter cube is the SI unit. When you convert it in kg per meter cube, it comes out to be 1000 kg per meter cube. So the density of water is 1000 kg per meter cube or 1 gram per centimeter cube. Okay, and it is unitless, dimensionless, density upon density, the unit cancels out. So it is unitless, that is, it has got no unit. Okay, next we have to study about Pascal's law, and then some applications of Pascal's law. Okay, like in the hydraulic brakes, hydraulic press, or in the hydraulic lift, this Pascal's law is used. And what is Pascal's law? Pascal's law is, if the pressure is applied on a fluid, it will be transmitted equally in all directions. This we call it as the Pascal's law, which we are going to study after the break, after the winter break. Okay, so we'll leave this chapter here only, and then we'll continue on the after the break, that is on 3rd, when the school reopens, then we'll start it. Okay, so during this break, keep studying, don't waste your time, enjoy the holidays. Okay, Merry Christmas to everyone, and wishing you all a very happy new year.